So, Peter Arvai from San Francisco, CEO of Prezi. A very good afternoon and good evening here in Amsterdam.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, wonderful. When we're looking at you, it is Tuesday morning and we have a Prezi Day, the first Prezi Day in the Netherlands. And there's a whole bunch of very enthusiastic Prezi evangelists here. And we're very happy that we have a number of people from the product sides. But I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about Prezi as a business. And you're in San Francisco. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about your background. What is Arvai for a name, and where are you from, and what's your background before you entered the beautiful Prezi Empire?
Well, I was born and raised in Sweden by Hungarian parents, as you might know, Prezi actually started in Budapest in Hungary. So my two co-founders, they as well. And my background is having been working with startups. So before Prezi, I founded a Swedish company that provides data about the quality of healthcare providers in Sweden, so hospitals and clinics. So you, as a patient, can actually decide where to go based on, for example, mortality rates.
And Prezi is something completely.
Startup.
Yeah, and then Prezi is something completely different, telling stories in a completely different way than selecting healthcare professionals.
Yeah. But all of them are on the internet. Yeah, and now Prezi has offices both in San Francisco and in Budapest. So that's why I'm calling you guys from San Francisco today.
Yeah. So Prezi was started in Budapest and basically got a small amount of money. And then a second round, which I don't think you basically tell how much money it was. No, you just go. Okay, but tell me, why did you start in San Francisco? What's happening in San Francisco and what's happening in Budapest now?
Well, our vision is really to help everyone around the world to share ideas. And the thing is, with my previous startups, I've learned this lesson that when you come from a smaller European market like Sweden or Hungary, you tend to think that the next big thing is to go, for example, to the UK or Germany, which is a larger European market, right? The issue with that is if, say that you go to the UK and you do that well, then you usually get the US competitor. But the UK market is still about a sixth of that of the US. And so all of a sudden you're a regional player in Europe instead of a global player in internet.
And the thing is, if you want to convince the Europeans, you better be big in America. That's I did the same thing when I had a startup. I started in Atlanta, and then it was 10 times easier to conquer Europe. Perfect. So, I understand that story. Yeah.
That is why when we did actually already the investment round, which you mentioned with the Danish VC and the TED conferences, we said, okay, the plan is to establish a second office, not in London, not in Frankfurt, but in San Francisco, because this is the place where we have all our potential competitors and partners, and this is where we have to prove sort of the value of Prezi.
Yeah.
Of course, we think the European countries, our home base in many ways, are great to be successful in. But if we are not successful here, we believe that we can't be globally successful, and so that's why we're also here.
Okay, so let's talk about Prezi, where you are today in 2011. I hear the newsletter is going to more than 1 million users, but can you tell us a little bit about how many users you have, how fast it's growing, how many people are using it monthly, because that's also the interesting figure.
Yeah. So today we're at 3.5 million users, and in the last month we added 500,000 new users. We are growing more rapidly than ever before, of course.
10,000 a day. Wow, that's a great 10,000 a day. That's a great number, and it's all over the globe, I presume.
It's all over the globe, but just to pick out one nice little example is I can mention Korea, where we about a year ago didn't even exist. And then all of a sudden, there was a Facebook group created for Korean users, and they were very passionate about Prezi, but they told us, hey, there's no way of writing
Kanji.
Korean in Prezi.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to write Korean in Prezi either, but they sent us a font set which we then integrated. And since then, there are now 3 books present on the Korean market that describes how to do Prezis well. And when I was over there a couple of weeks ago, I was more or less treated like a star. I was in the television, the newspapers, I was signing books, and it's a fantastic thing how quickly it can go with a little bit of internet penetration.
I hope that your Prezi people in the Netherlands will feel also that they're superstars and heroes, and they certainly have a very nice, passionate group of people who really love Prezi. Let's talk about the
I
business.
wish I could be there with you guys.
You would hate Amsterdam. That's not
You
much fun.
you
That's
know,
not much
Prezi
fun.
actually launched the very first day Prezi launched. We launched at the Next Web
Hmm.
conference in Amsterdam.
I met the guys there, and I really go, wow, this is really a great product. So let's focus again on the business side. Your business model is you have a beautiful free version. If you want to keep it confidential, you have to pay, and if you want to work offline, you have to pay too. What is your conversion rate of those kinds of professional and corporate accounts?
We're very close to the average ones, but we don't disclose the exact number. So we are actually cash flow positive since 1.5 year ago. So you can start.
How many people are there?
Sorry.
How many people are there?
So right now we're 31 people working in Prezi, if that's what you mean, and actually our biggest problem now is hiring the right people. So we want to grow to be 50 by the end of this year. I think we will continue to grow quite rapidly during next year. So if there's any great developers, designers out there who are looking to join our offices, for example, in Budapest, then please go to prezi.com/jobs and take a look.
Yeah. Okay. Budapest is a fantastic city to live, and if you want to basically grow in a beautiful, we'll put it on the Twitter, and we'll make sure that we make some commercial with that. How are you going to? How is your business model going to develop? So these percentages, which you don't want to mention in corporate accounts and professional accounts, is there any other way you're thinking of developing the business?
Yeah, not now. Actually, we're very much focused still on just developing the product, and you know, since we are doing well with the business, we don't try to monetize it more, but just improve the product and make it really useful for as many people as possible, and that's really where all our focus is at the moment. Maybe in a year or two we will need to look at additional revenue streams, but right now all our energy goes into continuing developing our offering.
Now, this is a fantastic time to raise money. I mean, everything is heating up in Silicon Valley, and of course, you just had the LinkedIn thing. Next year, you will probably have the Facebook thing. Do you notice that yourself? That you have a lot of visitors from all kinds of VCs who think that growing with 500,000 users a month, then you're the next interesting thing.
Oh, I do get approached by VCs, yes, but since we are not, you know, we're not looking to raise money right now. These discussions more end up in building relationships at the moment. I mean, it's great to have the interest from people, and then it's another thing when we are ready to go for a new round. And that's and that would be, I suppose, decided more on a strategic reasoning than right now just financing salaries in the company.
Yeah, no, that's clear. Hey, how many presentations are made daily with Prezi?
It's quite a lot. I can reveal the number of public presentations. You know, there's there's two groups of presentations in Prezi. So the public ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are secret ones. The secret ones I don't want to mention because those people actually pay for
Mm-hmm.
not revealing those. But the public ones, we have over 6 million available.
Over how many? How many?
Searchable.
How many?
6 million. Over 6 million public prezis available. And you can, for example, say you are a teacher at the high school right now and you want to tell the students about the earthquake in Tokyo. You can go into our Explore page
Mm-hmm.
and search Tokyo and get a presentation that's already done.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these prezis are not only public but also what we call reusable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this means that you can save a copy onto your own account, and maybe you want to just improve one or two things to make it suitable for your presentation, and then you're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you keep counting on how many people have copied your presentation? Do I know that? I make everything public. Can I see how many people copied it?
No, that number is not available, but that's a very good point. Maybe it should be.
Well, then you can come up with the superstars, the people who are the big heroes and what's hot and what's not and all that kind of stuff. But
for sure.
But again, you need a lot of time, a lot of people to just make the product better. That is the biggest.
Yes.
And even in Budapest, it's
Please come to Prezi.
Yeah.
Let's develop those kind of features.
Okay, alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Peter. That gives us an impression. You're not hunting for the big gold yet. You're just first wanting to change the world. And since now everybody is moving online, even Microsoft is moving online. This is a great moment to grab. Do you have any? What is your big hope? How many users do you want to have? Say at the end of 2012. When do you think you're really making a dent into the PowerPoint domination, which is used by 250 million people?
Look beyond 2012, and what I say is I'm working to spread Prezi to a third of the world,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of people who needs to work with ideas that are a little bit more complicated than a tweet,
Mm-hmm.
and less detailed than a document.
Mm-hmm.
And Prezi is great for this.
Yeah.
So anytime you have an idea that is a little bit, has relationships of some sort where you need context, Prezi is good. And we believe that about a third of the world needs that. And we want to make Prezi available for that third of the world.
Good. Well, I'm one of them. Let me ask you one product question. A second path has been discussed for a long time. Is it coming to the earth? I mean, I just want to have lots of different paths in my presentation, and at the moment, it's a royal pain in the butt. They multiply like rabbits, and that doesn't work well. Anytime soon?
We actually have a policy of not talking about future features.
You have a policy of not talking about a lot of things, Peter.
That is a very frequently asked feature. I will say this about it. I think it is the really expert users who desire it. And
I know.
The downside with going in that direction is definitely that it would make Prezi much more complicated for the non-expert users.
What a nice diplomatic answer. Thank you very much, Peter. And good luck there in San Francisco. See you next time in Amsterdam.
Looking forward to meeting you guys.
Okay.